with you guys today.
I'm excited too. I'm excited. So I want to start by asking you this. For the people who don't know, tell them who you are and what you do, beautiful.
Yes, so I'm Jihana B. I am a cybersecurity expert. I've been in cybersecurity for the past 11 years. I've done it for the military, the government, private sector, and I've recently transitioned into full-on entrepreneurship where I am giving cybersecurity support, advice, tips, information to the everyday individual and business owners, especially small businesses and solopreneurs who, let's be clear, we all need cybersecurity, but probably don't understand why or how to incorporate it. So I'm gonna share and explain to you why it's important and how you can include it and see where I can help.
Fantastic. Now, as you guys know, thank you for the 3 who are watching here. For the awesome 6 over on Instagram land, if you want to join this conversation, I highly suggest you hit the link in my bio and then it says YouTube and join over on YouTube. Trust me, it's a better experience and you'll be able to hear her because right now all you can hear is me. So once again, hit the link in my bio, click YouTube. It's going to bring you right over and you can join the party. Okay, guys? All right. So I want to know this.
Oh, gosh.
I want to know, why do you feel, I know it's silly, but I had to ask this question.
Yeah.
What is cybersecurity?
No, one, that is not
security. What's security?
It's actually not a silly question because when was the last time you heard it, right? Like prior to even me getting into it, I had no idea what it was. It wasn't one of those things that when when you're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm like, like no such thing, right? Because so cybersecurity is basically protecting your devices, your servers, your computers, your mobile devices, whatever you have that is digital and gets into the digital space, it's protecting that. Let me exactly you guys completely. Yeah, it's protecting that. I like to add the extra bit of it is securing your digital hygiene, right? We do a lot of things online. We go to school online, we shop online, we and now we work online so much more and we do it from home and not in the traditional sense. So that's what cybersecurity is. It is basically how we protect, how we secure our digital experience or our devices. Is that a good one? Do you guys?
Very good one. So what you're telling me is, okay, it's basically what I've decided to coin you.
Yes.
Being the ADT of the internet. Teaching us how to protect ourselves, how to do almost like self-defense for the internet type of situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure I got that nice and clear.
And even to add on to that, to help people better understand security, I say it's like this. It's a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you have your home, you have a door. But on that door, that's your first layer of security from the outside. You have the door, but then you add a lock. And then sometimes you add an ADT system.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have a weapon and you have a dog. And so each of these things are layers of security to protect whatever is in the home. Whether you, your device, your property, your furniture, whatever is of value to you in that space is what you protect. And so security doesn't happen with just having the door, because if you just have a door with no lock, if no one tries the door, then you're safe-ish. Mm-hmm. But now they're inside, So I tend to think of cybersecurity in the same way, where it's not just a one-stop, you can't just have a good password. There are other things you need to do to help secure yourself.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. So when I think of cybersecurity as well, I think about it on a very high level. I think of major corporations who's gotten hacked, right? That's why you hear on the news all the time, all of these breaches that take place. But can you tell me how and why it is important for the average person to understand the basics of cybersecurity?
So it is important for the everyday average individual to understand cybersecurity because you're on your phones, you're on your computers. And like I said, you do so much things online. And the problem is when you aren't educated on how to better protect yourself, you are the primary target for cyber criminals. If you don't know that there are phishing emails or there's scams that can come across via email, and you click a link or you accept a message from someone, or like with the stimulus checks that happened when COVID came out, so many people fell for this. The IRS is texting you. The IRS
does not text.
But because they don't know, they click links via these text messages, and these people are like, yes, give me the last four of your social, your address, give me your account number and routing number so that the money can get into your account, only for them to take advantage of you. And you don't even understand that this is a scam that's running rampant. And the reason why these scams are and all this fraud is so popular and easy to execute is because so many people don't know.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of cybersecurity, right? It's to let you know as often as possible. Like prior to, did you know what to do if there was a data breach? Do you know what to do if there's a data breach?
No, that's why I'm talking to you tonight.
Right. And out there, like all of that stuff. So cybersecurity is it literally needs to be as common as it is for you to look both ways before you cross the street. In real life, cybersecurity needs to be as instinctual as that. Yeah.
So let's play with that illustration. So if it's supposed to be instinctual, let's look at some everyday uses and how we can include being cybersecurity smart, street smart on these internet streets. Okay. So go. Right. Go.
Because it's literally, it's as simple as this, right? If a person walked up to you in the street, complete stranger, and is like, hey, can I get your money? You would be like, no. But if this person does this behind the computer, suddenly you're like, yes, and here's my account number, here's my routing number. Here. It's almost like, and not to say it this way, and this is not to be offensive, but it's almost as though the common sense, the street smarts goes right out of the window because of the anonymity of being online.
Yes.
Where it should almost be heightened, because at least if you were in person with it, you can see the danger, sense the danger, you kind of understand the environment you're in. Online, you have no clue. And because you have no clue, you're more likely to be the victim of identity theft, of having your money stolen, stalking. People, literally, you give out so much information, people can track you down, people can do so many things to you. You literally gave them this on a platter, and you were like, hey, here's my address, here's my phone number, here's my passwords, here's how you get into my bank account, my credit cards, and you can't, you have to be a little bit more aware, I guess is the right word.
I'm happy you're sharing that. It reminds me, I'm sure you've heard of it, of the experience of a judge. I forgot what.
Yes, I actually posted about her a couple weeks ago.
Please explain that experience.
Judge Esther. I want to call her Flores, but I don't know if that's the right name. But basically, both she and her husband, she's a judge, a federal judge, but her husband is a very well-placed criminal lawyer. And basically, it can run the gamut of who the actual intended target was, or who their list of enemies could have been, because obviously when it comes to court, there's a winner and there's a loser, right? Like the both of you are not just walking away from this like super satisfied majority of the time. And what they were able to do was go online and get all of this information that was available publicly, their address, their church, their everything. And what people do is they create a whole persona, a whole profile based on these particular individuals. So they know how to target them. They know where they're going to be. Like, think about how many of you check in when you get here, or I'm on vacation. Let me post from the second the plane lands to the. So, hey, cyber criminals, I'm not home. Rob my house, please. Like, things like that. So, what happened in the case of the judge is a person dressed up as a FedEx employee came to their door and ended up killing their son and almost fatally injuring her husband. Thankfully, she was untouched, but I mean, obviously, that kind of loss and that change in your life is unparalleled, and it's all because you are able to be Googled. Like, all of this information about you is on the internet for whoever wants it. It's terrible.
It is.
It's awful. So
it's the dark side of the internet.
Yeah.
It's the dark side. However, I'm so happy that you've decided to share your knowledge with everyone, because as we just heard now, it's life-saving knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
On many levels, physically, as well as internet, personal identity, that as we're going to go into.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said earlier, I want to talk about some basic steps people can use as they go about their everyday lives, things they should be cognizant of. So let's talk about the gram.
Oh,
right?
Talk about it.
Hello, Instagram fam. Join us on YouTube. But I want to know, what are some basic things people should remember and do when having fun on social media? How can they stay safe?
So to one of the people that chimed in over here, yep, Pop Smoke, all of it. So
DJ was good. Uh-huh.
It literally is that, right? It's you're on social media, and for whatever reason, you feel like all of your movements, thoughts, experiences need to be on public display. And so you overshare on the internet. The first thing I would say is stop sharing so much. Or if you're going to share it, how do you say? Reserve something, leave a little mystery. There are a lot of these social media games. I always refer to the this or the that game. Do you like winters or do you like summers? And it was a game, like everyone was playing on there. But what it helps a cyber criminal do, or anybody who's into social engineering, social engineering is the art of playing on human emotion. So do something that you probably normally wouldn't have done had you not been essentially being played. So they will play on your fears. They will play on your embarrassment. They will play on your happiness, your joy, your sadness, to get you to do something that you probably wouldn't have done. So anyone who's engaging in social engineering can say, okay, well, let me put up this game. Where's your favorite place to travel? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite movie? And everyone's so quick to type it in and this, that, and the third. What are the security questions that they ask you when you're trying to recover a password?
Holy mackerel! Oh, Jihana. Oh, dagnammit to Betsy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Asking you when you go to 100%. So now you're giving away this information. So even if they didn't know your password, I could then say, okay, I'm trying to log in as Gia. Password, what is it? Forgot password. Okay, let's try security questions, because it's like email or ask you these questions. Well, all right. So say I don't know your date of birth. Let me scroll on the gram. Happy birthday, Gia. Happy birthday. What date was this? Okay. At least I know her birthday. And then people will be like, oh, happy 25th birthday. Clearly I can do math, so I figure out 1 month. You just told me what all your favorites are. Mm-hmm. You post with your friend, and here's the thing too. So your friends, your family, people who repost you and tag you, they are part of what makes you vulnerable. Yeah. Because even if I'm super locked down fortress over here, them tagging me in this location or this time or this place is a whole, the second thing, especially with Instagram, mm-hmm. Your password does not need to be the password that's for your bank account. Doesn't need to be the password that's for your emails. It needs to be a whole other password, especially if you use your platform for your business. Yes. You are growing your audience on there. This is where you engage with your customers, clients, whatever you call them. Tribe, I call them myself tribe. I need to protect that space. Even though it is rented digital real estate, yep. You need to rent. Yes, perfect example. Tagging when you call out of work. How you sick, but you showing out that you're in Mexico?
Yeah.
Right? Like, Tulum, the water is just murky now. Like, so that's all. To your point, it's these things. So you need to have a better password that you're not sharing all over the place. One. Number two, with that password, you need to turn on multi-factor authentication. So for the most part, it's called two-factor authentication. And what that means is you have the password. So let's backtrack. Multi-factor authentication is something you know, something you have, something you are. I know my password. I have a phone, and maybe I'm doing a face ID to get in. So usually you'll do two things, right? So it'll be like, I know this password. This is the long, complex, super great password I've created. Boom. Mm-hmm. The other thing you should do is have a second piece to that authentication. So usually it's a send a code to my cell phone, or let me log on to this authenticator and get this information. So it's that, right? Mm-hmm. That's an additional layer of it. So today, I posted on Instagram that a friend of mine reached out and was just like, I think it was her Robinhood account, and she saw a code come up for her to enter to gain access. She wasn't logging in to Robinhood. So maybe the password that she didn't change or didn't create or was available in a breach or any of these things was available. The cyber criminal tried their luck, but because she had that additional layer of security on it, they couldn't get into that account. And she was alerted to the fact that someone was trying to log into that account, which tells her you need to change your password. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing you need to have on your social media. And I was thinking of one other thing, but I think those are the two main important things. Passwords, multi-factor authentication, and stop telling your business.
Stop telling your business. And what are your thoughts? Can you speak a little bit on shopping online?
Oh, yeah.
Because now that's all we're doing. That's all. We are Amazon Prime in life right now.
Oh, yeah.
Showing up at my front step. I like it, but I also want to be safe.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know how many of you have your groceries delivered, but maybe earlier this month, Instacart had a data breach. And people...
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes. And people's credit card numbers, addresses, whatever you typed into there to get your stuff paid for was now available to the internet. And more importantly, available to people you don't know, strangers. And what they could have done was maybe enter your password. And then the crazy part about that is that Instacart blamed people. They were the reason why your information was compromised. But they were like, well, if people had better passwords and if they had, better security, then this wouldn't have happened. Or if it did get out there, it wouldn't have been that bad. Oh, yeah. So that's that whole back and forth. That's that whole back and forth with what responsibility a company has to secure you and what you have to do as the consumer. So when it comes to online shopping now, make sure the website that you're browsing on is secured. It shouldn't just be HTTP, it needs to be HTTPS, especially if you're entering card information, any personal information about yourself, it needs to be secured. Two, if they offer you the option, pay through a third party. So it could be a wallet, it could be like PayPal.
Yeah.
I don't enter my card directly on there, but I will authenticate to PayPal, who has it stored and will pay these people for me. So that's that other piece to it, I would also say, don't save anything into these browsers. Like, oh, this is my account. I'm just going to store my credit card for convenience, and I'm going to store my password. Don't.
I have to work. Is that what you're telling me? I have to work.
Yes.
Dang it, man. All right.
So I know this is going to sound weird, but my friend's dad, when we were in high school, used to say this to us all the time. A lazy man works double.
True.
And so, yes, for your convenience right now, it's easy. But then if your identity is compromised, if your accounts are compromised, the amount of work you're going to put in on the back end, you could have just did this right in the first place. Yeah.
Now, I want to address DJ's question. He says, how do you advise managing passwords?
Dun, da, da, da.
Funny, you should ask, DJ.
Listen, passwords is my favorite thing to talk about because it is literally the simplest thing you can do. But for some reason, nobody wants to do it. And some people in the crowd, I'm not going to call no names. But a password manager. So password managers do an assortment of things.
Uh-huh.
They allow you to store passwords to different accounts. They allow you to create in very unique password per account.
Uh-huh.
They allow you to even store credit cards. So if you do have to enter your credit card to pay something, it's stored in a secure place and it can do it for you. Okay. It allows you to have that multi-factor authentication. It allows you to share your credentials with somebody else. So say Gia and I are working together on a project and she needs to get into my email. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to give Gia my password. But what I will say is, hey, Gia, download this password manager. I will share access with you so that you can log in, but you will never see that password. She gets to do what she needs to do. I'm still maintaining my security, all well and good. And the beauty of these password managers is that they're the one-stop shop for everything, like unique passwords, multi-factor authentication, sharing, storage. You only have to remember one really good password, and that's it. And then that one really, really good password, you will not write down. You will not have it on a Post-it on the monitor. You will not write it in a book.
I can't put it on my bathroom mirror.
You will not leave it in a notebook that's just lying around the place. No, that's not what we're doing. So, but yeah, a password manager. And I will share a link with you to the password manager that I personally use. I love it. Super user friendly. I mean, it's called LastPass. But they're really, really good. I think they're super helpful because I do a lot, and for a cybersecurity person, I really can't drop the ball on this, right?
Yeah.
The other good thing about it that I almost forgot is that it tells you two good things. It'll tell you if you're using this password too much, because you know how like some people have the same password for like every account they have. No, it'll tell you. And it will tell you if your password, is available in a data breach. Do they see it out? Yeah. Oh yeah. When they search
right now?
Did your password show up somewhere? And if it did, you need to do something about it. The caveat to a password manager is this: you get what you pay for. LastPass has a free version to it. However, if I want them to take my demand seriously, my account seriously, usually when you pay for things, now I have the right to complain, but I can't complain about free stuff. The saying beggars can't be choosers. And it's reasonably priced, because if it was something crazy, I wouldn't tell you to get that. But I really, really like it. I've been using it for about 2 years now. I've used it in corporate. I've used it just personally. I like, it's my go-to. I can have it on my browser and I can have it on my phone. So I'm not typing in anything anywhere. So
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Can you put it on your browser? Yes, you just said that. You can put it on your browser. Yeah. You can put it on.
Password is password won't work. Not at all. And if that's like your Play account that you just sign up for like foolishness with, I guess.
Okay. So now we've gotten through the basics for personal use.
Yeah.
Because now we know how to shop safely.
Mm-hmm.
We know how to socialize safely on the gram and other social networks.
Mm-hmm.
We know how to make sure that we keep our personal information safe via emails. Do you want to touch a little bit more about that?
Oh, yeah.
Phishing a little bit?
Yes. Keys to the kingdom they are. How do you sign up for banking? How do you sign up for anything? It's through your email address. If you need to recover your password, it's through your email address. If you don't want to get snail mail, opt in for paperless. And where does it go? To your email. So your email literally can be your single point of weakness in all sense when it comes to your digital hygiene being how you upkeep, maintain, secure yourself while you are on the interwebs.
Mm-hmm.
If your email is compromised, it's very problematic. It's very it could be the reason why you are locked out, your money's gone, a wire transfer doesn't go, all assortment of things, right? So what you need to do when you receive an email address is allow your spidey senses to do their thing, right? Just as much as if you were walking down the street, sketchy person walking next to you, clutch that purse a little bit more. Do the same thing with your emails. If you see an email that comes out of nowhere and you're like, well, this doesn't sound like my friend, or this is not how they would normally talk, or who is this person? Don't just click the link in it. It's probably leading you somewhere else. Usually when people send you URLs in your email, it'll say, hey, to get more information, or look, this is great, I just wanted to show you. And then you're like, ooh, curiosity, social engineering. And now you've either downloaded some virus or something onto your devices that usually allow them to extract information or have access into your devices. Surprisingly, PayPal is the number one scam. So they call it phishing, where it's they use your emails to target you, to get you to either give up information or gain access to your device.
Mm-hmm.
With phishing, verify the sender. Find out who it's coming from. See what that domain says. It shouldn't say I just saw the word Apple. So it shouldn't be opple.com, right? Like say Apple, but because you're looking so fast and you're moving so, you're not looking for these small details. Stop, take a beat, pay attention, because it can literally be the difference from what saves you, your account, your computer, your devices. I literally just had a consultation last week where poor young lady, she clicked on a link. She said, yeah, I got this thing. I thought it was a text from my mom, but I kind of sensed it was weird. She had to end up wiping her whole phone, lost her pictures and everything.
Whoa.
Whatever happened, like, I'm pretty sure it was like some malware. They got into her email, her pictures. She had pictures of her credit cards and things in there. It was a mess. So verify your sender. Don't just click anything in the URLs. If it's a PayPal, for example, and they're like, hey, we have a message in your resolution sender. Click here. No. Go to paypal.com.
Mm-hmm.
You log in securely because you know who it is. And then you go to your resolution center. See if there's any messages. Because sometimes they'll say that there's something via email. You'll go there and see that there's nothing. You knew that was a scam.
Mm.
You see? Hover over that link. If it is not directing you to a legitimate place, for example, if you're supposed to be going to paypal.com and it says paypol.com, that is not where you're supposed to go. That is not a legitimate link. Do not click on that.
That is so slick though, because a lot of times you're not reading. Your eyes are just glancing. You see pay, you see the L, you think it's PayPal, and you're just clicking it.
Yeah. So many people, Cash App. I literally had 3 people show me that Cash App, they even sent it to me, but they just wasted their time. Hey, you won the $750 on Cash App. Click the link below to claim it. No. But some people, depending on circumstance, and this is where I talk about the social engineering piece, right? Depending on your circumstance, depending on your awareness, you'll be like, oh, who sent me this money? Click. Oh, I need some money. Click.
Yeah.
This is probably a scam. Let me look. Click. Either one of those scenarios results in you clicking on something that you shouldn't have and compromising yourself. So there's that.
Once again, you're out here saving lives, girl.
I'm trying.
Saving digital lives. Saving digital lives. So many things.
Oh, wait. can I pay for your service to help me spring clean all my accounts? You absolutely can. As a matter of fact, I offer that consultation to a lot of people because they just want to know what to do, how to get it all sorted out. I just mentioned helping the young lady last week. So I do that a lot. I set everyone up with like password managers and just basic overall security help and tips so that they can be more secure online, because we're probably not going outside in the normal way for the next, I don't even know. No. And we're going to end up doing more things online. So we need to, behave accordingly, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. So with that, I want to transition into the business side of things, because a lot of the people who are watching both Hello Instagram Land and YouTube Land are business owners or aspiring entrepreneurs. Okay. And with that, majority of them in some way, shape, or form are doing a lot of business dealings via the internet now.
Yes.
A classic example is for those who are in the real estate space. A lot of them have been doing virtual wholesaling. They have been doing everything virtually now, right? There's virtually proper property management. So what's happening is that they're doing a lot of these transactions virtually. So you'll have one person allowing another person to have access to their cloud so they can see pictures of the property. You have a lot of people sending money via wiring back and forth. And the interesting thing, especially in the real estate space, is a lot of this is happening with people who don't really know each other. Seriously, because everyone's hungry for the deal. And I get it. So if there's a steal of a deal down in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm up here in DC, I'm going to say, oh, yeah. And he'll all send over the pictures. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's the information. Okay, give me $5,000 down and we'll handle the rest.
Yep.
And honestly, I don't condone it. I mean, of course, let me rephrase that. Living in this virtual space is life now.
Yes.
Forever and ever. Amen.
Yes.
However, my question to you is, how can we make sure that we protect ourselves, our own virtual assets, which is our information, because our personal information is our digital asset. Mm-hmm. How can we protect that, all the while handling business with sometimes strangers, and even if they're not strangers, even if you have a VA who is wonderful working in the Philippines, you don't want them to have permanent access to your digital assets. How can we protect ourselves?
So there are an assortment of things that you can do, right? The first thing, and I'm hoping that we're sensing the common thread throughout this, and that is, I don't even want to say it like that because it sounds bad.
Spit it out.
Sense. So just as much as if you were in person with these people, you would vet them. The same thing needs to happen online.
Yeah.
If you are a reputable person, if you're doing certain transactions, if you're known in particular industries to do certain things, you too should leverage their social media, leverage Google, see what you can find, verify. Because I tell you one thing, so the gift and curse of social media is when people do good business, you'll know about it. When people do good business.
Oh my God, say that one more time. Say it for the people in the back.
When people do good business, you will know about it. And when people do bad business, you will know about it.
Yes.
Comments, I'm sure if I could name certain influencers in certain industries, just by mention of their name, just by searching hashtag bloop, 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 bloop. Mm-hmm. If there were bad things said about them, you'd know. And I think the problem too is that we kind of let this whole us being behind computers cloud our better judgment.
Yes.
Like with online or social media and things like that, like you have to do your due diligence. So if I love to invest, I'm all for it, right? Mm-hmm. If it is a particular industry that I am not familiar with, is not my strong suit, then I would seek out people, not necessarily the one I want to do business with, but seek out people in that industry who I can ask, hey, have you heard about this person? Mm-hmm. What do you think about them? Have you, good, bad? Have you worked with them? Do you know people who have worked with them? That's the first line of defense, right? Because I'm telling you, if I've had a great experience, I'm gonna gush. Oh my gosh, Gia was great. She did this, she did this, she did this. I mean, I've been telling everyone about it. Gia didn't do that. I'd be like, girl.
Exactly. So true. Very.
No, do what you want. But like, there's that whole piece to it. So that's number one. Number two, in addition to that, you need to have certain security measures technology-wise. Mm-hmm. If you are trying to, for example, you're my accountant, you are doing, we're doing online transactions. No, I am not emailing you my statements over plain old email. Where's your encrypted storage where I'm uploading my documents to, where you are now retrieving these documents from? We're not doing these transactions via email. Why? Even if I'm doing my part and I have a strong password and I have multi-factor authentication and I am deleting things after, I don't know that you're doing the same. And so therefore, I can't have you be the reason why now my social is out there, my date of birth, my address, my information, and somebody steals my identity. In addition to scrambling to try and recover it, trying to pinpoint where it happened. And the only thing you're going to tell me is, wow, I'm sorry, I didn't know. That's not going to work for me. Kind of like what I was explaining with the password managers. It allows you to share access. In the case of the VA, they need to get into your email. I can share access without giving them my password. That also means that I can retrieve that access without having to give anybody an explanation. This is the only thing you're allowed to see. This is what we're working with. Another thing, do you know, like when you work with like I read this thing about Beyonce, every project that she works on, she creates an email account for that project. And when she's done working with you, that email goes in the garbage. You can't contact her. She can't contact you. It was only good for the life of that project. So that means that information is not recoverable. Smart.
That is.
So if you're going to be doing these particular transactions where you know you're putting this email back and forth, and I still don't recommend you send anything over any plain email address. But if you are, then have it be a burner email.
A burner email. I love it. That is fire though. Because the other thing I'm thinking about too, once again, we're in this digital space. I have the joy and pleasure of working with you and many other wonderful people via social media. And sometimes I've been approached to do collaborations. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to get a burner email. Because
this is what this is.
I love that.
I literally have like 10 email addresses. And it depends on what I'm doing, with whom, for what, how long. Like I said, like there's ones where it's just like, those ones where it's like, you're getting on this website and they won't let that pop up of enter an email disappear. Okay, well now you get the foolish one just so I can see what I want to see. Yeah. And then you can spam that email address for days. Beyonce, your business. I know that's
your business.
You can do that for the whole time and done. I don't care. I'm not looking at it. If that was compromised, if that's the email address, the password that was available in the breach, I could care less. It means nothing to me. Also, verify. And this kind of ties into the doing your due diligence. Mm-hmm. But don't send money. Don't send things to people. Don't wire anything until it's almost like if I have to do a wire with somebody, you need to be on the phone with me. Is this the number? This and this and this and this? Are you who you say you are? How do I? And don't be afraid to ask people, show me who you are. Like, I need to know. I need to know who you are. I need to know where you're at. The gift and the curse is, if you have a lot of information out there on the internet, people can look you up, but you can have that ability too. Mm-hmm. Who work with you, a lot of things are public record. For example, if you own several properties, if you have it under your LLC, I can look that up. Yep. I need to look that up. You're not going to just tell me you own properties, or you tell me that you do mobile homes, or you tell me that you do trucking, or you tell me that you do this, and I can't verify that, especially when it's public record.
Oh, you preach it. Yes, it's true. It's so true.
So I think that especially when it comes to identity and protecting it, I think we need to understand that there's certain things that are good for your business, and then there's certain things that aren't good for you as an individual. I'm conducting transactions under my LLC, and it is for real estate. I need to make sure certain things need to be publicly available. Absolutely. Because one, whoever I'm doing business with can vet me. Yep. And number two, that's just the business. It has nothing. It does not say me per se, unless you do some more digging. Mm-hmm. However, if you are doing this business, your business address and your mailing address shouldn't be your personal home.
Let them know. Say that again.
It should not be.
Jihana, save them.
Like,
oh my God.
P.O. boxes, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, fine, right? You have to spend a little money. Maybe pay for the year.
Not much, though. It's not much.
But that privacy piece is invaluable.
Yes.
So weigh your pros and cons, right? Like, it's totally up to you. I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, but I will heavily suggest that when people are doing work with you, make sure that because part of the thing, and it kind of goes into like business owners, business owners face more liability and responsibility than the consumer.
Yes, they do.
Because you have the responsibility to protect the person you're working with, because that can affect your brand loyalty, that can affect your revenue, that can affect your bottom line. So that's important. But also, you work with so many different people. For example, if you're a vendor that I work with to do the flooring, if you're the vendor I work with to do the roofing, and I'm sending these things back and forth, but they aren't using security. First of all, if somebody's trying to tell you Cash App them the money to pay for anything, Cash App is trash. One, but two, that's not good business, right? Like, you need to have that paper trail. You need to have that person that you can contact if something goes on, and it's important that there's a paper trail, but it's done securely. So if your third party individual, vendor, whomever you're working with is not holding up their bargain of security, you're just as likely to be compromised as if you didn't do it. That's one. Two, if they are using apps and software and things like that, for example, I'm not really, for me, I use Teachable. Teachable is where I have my course and things like that. And so as I go on and I work with it, Teachable security needs to be to a certain level for me to work with them because of what it collects. It has tax information, it has payment information, it has the information of the people purchasing my course. And they're not going to say Teachable messed up. They're going to say I messed up. Yep. So things like that, making sure that whoever you work with is taking security as seriously as you are, that you are maintaining your applications, your software. For all the people that the 2 seconds that it takes to do the update on your phone, pushing it off. This is important, because the reason why an update comes out is because there were things that are broken. Yeah, it needs to be fixed. Same thing with your app. If your banking app is saying we have an update, you want to fix that, because say that we would call it a vulnerability. Yes. So that vulnerability is that if you click the menu button 2 times, it allows anybody to see your routing and everything. You want that fixed, because Joe Schmo might not take advantage of it, but there's cyber criminals who are waiting for you to not do what you're supposed to do. Yeah. And the thing is, these things are way too simple for you to not just do them, you know? So yeah, that's why it's important for business owners. I kind of went off on a tangent. I felt very cool.
Yeah. No.
It was near and dear.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really important. You have to understand, especially for the business owner. I think you underestimate, even as a solopreneur, right? Like I said, the platforms I use. Yep. I need to make sure that they're doing what they're saying they're gonna do. I need to, if it doesn't make sense, there are some of them that don't have the best security. It is known, and you want to know how it's known? Google. And if it's Google, people will say, talk about platforms that aren't the best. If I want to house my course online, which one is the best platform? Which one is the worst? And people create lists about everything. What is the most secure web browser? What is the least secure? Go on there, see what it says. It can be the make or break for your business, because if something is notoriously bad, you didn't do your due diligence. Whose fault is it? Yeah. So that was my little. I'm getting off the soapbox now.
No, but I need you to get on that soapbox, because, as you mentioned earlier, as humans, unfortunately, especially in light of social media, people are very easily swayed. And they lean very heavily on the vanity matrix, right? But you have 50,000 followers, and so you have to. I saw you with the picture with Beyonce, so you have to be solid, like Photoshop, like do your due diligence.
Yes, and I know. Listen, I hate to hear someone say that to me. I really hate it. I'd rather you just tell me, are they good or they not?
Yeah.
Is this gonna work, or is it or isn't it? However, certain things fall through the cracks, or maybe your experience with that person is gonna be different from my experience.
True.
So I can be raving about them, but they've had, bad situations with someone else. And the problem with Instagram popularity is sometimes people can scale a lot faster than they're prepared for. And it's not for a lack of them wanting to offer you help and support or whatever they're offering. It's that they can't keep up with it.
Well said.
So this person's like, yes, they're super solid. This is great. And someone else who caught them when they're over capacity is now saying, oh, no, they're the worst. Get the litmus test, right? It's kind of like, so when I go on Amazon, looking up any product that I'm about to buy, I go to the worst, and then I see the middle, and then I see what the best is. Because obviously there can be an abundance of the best, and people, like with apps, pay attention, because there are people who pay people to just go write positive reviews. However, you can almost spot the fakes, because when a person, great, it was fun, I loved it. Like, we're talking about a toilet app. What are you talking about? Versus when a person complains, well, this is what happened. And sometimes if it's like a responsible consumer, they will say exactly what piece of it failed. Maybe the service was great, but this and this happened when so you can kind of use your own discernment to say, yes, this makes sense, or no, it doesn't. But that's important. That's important when you download apps, because you want to get on the new hotness, but the new hotness, that was a fake app. That's not real. And you download it, and now your phone is doing all kind of weird stuff, and you're like, what happened? I thought this was legit. Why did you think that? Did you check the name of the developer? Did you read the reviews? Did you just Google? I have my thoughts about Google, but for the most part, it's the search engine. Like, you can get a lot of questions answered for yourself. So, it's important. And then leverage experts. So I think even me, and this is me speaking from my experience, is sharing my knowledge and understanding of stuff. I've learned that a lot of what I take for granted that I know is not common for everyone else.
Yes.
And it really doesn't hurt me to share what I know on, even if it's the baseline level. Obviously, if I'm going to do more work and I'm going to give more effort and time, I will be paid for my services. Not like I will be paid for my services. But I give a lot of free game on social media all the time. If I don't know what I'm talking about, if you can't check my credentials, if you can't go to my LinkedIn, my resume is up there. If you can't go to my social media, if you can't Google me and see, okay, well, she's done this, this, and this, it's a part of the due diligence too, right? Because I think I would feel more confident going to somebody who I know does something. For example, our fam, Hood Estates.
Yep.
I don't know anything about a truck. Well, I didn't prior to. But what I'm saying is, like, I know that isn't my forte.
Yeah.
But on their page, it's literally testimonial after testimonial after testimonial, showing that they know what they know, proving that they know what they know. There is responses from the people that they've helped. You can literally be in the comments. It's a solid trust group. You can Google. And that's what I mean by due diligence, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a lot that they give without it being the meat and potatoes, but enough for you to trust that they know what they're talking about.
Yep.
So, because I know for me, if I need to do, first of all, I call Pocky about everything, but that's a whole different story. But if it's trucking or if it's real estate, part of me doing my due diligence and making sure I'm not wasting my money and my time is making sure that the expert that I am tapping into knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So if you just popped up last week talking about you're doing options, when I know that the only exact social proof. Exactly. I know you to only know how to sell vending machines.
Yep.
I need more than that week of it. So this might be your hobby. This might be something you're getting into. I respect that we're always all learning. However, you're not going to get my money until I know a little bit more. I'm saying baby girl works hard for them coins now.
Exactly.
Just squandering them. And I think part of it too is like, and I'm not even going to call investing a hype. Investing is a necessity.
Facts.
However, the rush to get into it is the hype.
Exactly.
Because not everything suits you. For example, at first I was like, oh, I want to do real estate. I went and to a conference or something, and they were talking about fix and flip. The only thing I left there knowing was that was not what I wanted to do. I was just like, oh no, there's got to be another way. Baby girl's not doing that. So I still end up in real estate. I still own property, but it's in a different way, right? So figure out what works for you. And that is done through doing your due diligence and asking questions. If the money is burning a hole in your pocket that bad, when you lose it, you shouldn't cry.
Oh, say that one more time, please.
Because if it's burning that hole through your pocket, where you can't even take the time to do the research, to the social proof aspect, the watching, asking questions, doing all that stuff. If you're not willing to do that, then don't cry about it when it's gone, because it's gone.
Because in many ways, a lot of people don't understand, and they affiliate. They do. I shouldn't say affiliate. They associate. Rather, they associate investing with gambling.
Yeah,
it's
no, and there's risk.
Exactly. But with investing, you have to be willing to play the long game.
Yes.
Especially to get the returns that you want.
100%.
Right there. Right there. So, what other wonderful links do you have for us?
I have so many. Okay, so I have my business course where if you're a solopreneur, small business owner, that's for you. And you'll be surprised because you think, oh, it's just me. Like I said, it is just me. And I still need to understand how to recognize a phishing email, what to do. If I even work with one other person, I need them to understand how to protect themselves. So here's my rule of thumb, my little, pro tip, get the course and use it as your security training if you get more people on your team.
Oh, ding, 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 ding.
And here's why, right? So you get that understanding. But with all of us being in this digital space and doing what we do, we need to have that baseline of security understanding.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to work with somebody, I make it a requirement in that contract that we're signing saying, hey, we're working together. I need you to review this. It's not super long. You can do it as fast or as slow as you need to. But this is a part of that process for me, because then that way, and here's how it comes full circle.
Ooh.
If they are the reason why your business is compromised and you've provided training, because that's 65% of businesses fail because of the people having a lack of training.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if they fail to look at the training, utilize the training, and your business is impacted, you have a lawsuit on your hands.
Ooh.
And recover that for my customer, client, whatever you call them. The second thing that I have is my audiobook. Okay, so this one is just for people in general. I'm talking to you about public Wi-Fi, apps, passwords, identity theft. I'm giving you a little bit of everything that as a person who is online, whether it's for work, for pleasure, for shopping, for handling transactions, anything you do, because we're always online, we're always on our phones.
Yep.
How you secure that, how you protect yourself. So that's in there as well. And so I'm giving 10% off to Gia's lovely audience. And so you have to Kaizen is the coupon code. So let's not forget that. But yeah, leverage those two things, because one or the other you can't lose. If you still have questions, hopefully you would still have questions, because I know you're not going to do everything, or you probably won't ever understand, especially with the business piece, how to incorporate it, right? Because now as the business owner, you have a certain responsibility. New York State just passed a cybersecurity law that says businesses have to have cybersecurity to it. And I forgot what the name of it, the act is. I will get that to you. But yeah, they passed a law that because everyone's working from home now, and they need businesses have to be compliant, whether it is a one person LLC or a sole proprietor or otherwise. If you have registered your business, you need to be compliant. And I'm almost positive this is going to take over everywhere. So be ahead of the game. That being said, I have consultations. So if you still have questions, if you want to know how to implement something, if some weird stuff are happening on your laptop, your phone, your anything, hit me up. I can help you. That is what I'm here for. I also offer retainer services, so we can talk more about that. And what else? I think that's it.
I think that's it. Go for it. Go. What else?
The password manager and the identity protection piece. So I was fortunate enough to have a company reach out to me. And they're the reason why I've been doing it. So we have this summer takeover. So every Thursday on IG Live, I'm dropping gems. We have a topic for the week and we talk about it. And I will give you guys all that I can about it. But the beauty of them is they offer that identity protection. They will let you know if your information, your password is available in a data breach. They kind of score your risk level as far as that's concerned. What they also do, look, I love your people. That's what I'm talking about.
She's on top of it. Mm-hmm. She's on top of it.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the identity theft piece. So they offer insurance, which is the best part, because really sometimes to recover all of this stuff, if your credit is impacted and stuff like that, they give you up to $1 million. But what they also do, the most important part, is they clean that data off of those sites. So you see all these people, and you'll see your mom's name, who you lived in the house with, the addresses that you have, the SHIELD Act, yes. All those people that you've lived in the house with, that you've done all of these things that people can use to gain access. Because if you live with your mom and now it says, hey, you've lived at this address or that address, one of your security questions is, what's your mother's maiden name?
Oh, boy.
And it has it right there. So the beauty of this is that company checks these data broker sites, because that's what they're called, data brokers. You've basically opted in, and maybe you signed up for
a free shirt. No matter. Yeah.
Then the information they wanted, and Candy Crush says, well, we're going to sell it to everybody because now we know you gave us consent. they sell it, resell it, and now it ends up on the internet. All you have to do is type in your name in Google and all your information's out there. So this site cleans it up. If you're a victim of identity theft, it puts up the money to help you recover your identity to whatever extent that means. And it helps you know if your information is available via a data breach and what you can do. So that we have a link for that also. Trying to give you like the security toolkit here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered passwords, we've covered identity protection, we've covered the individual experience with cybersecurity, and we've covered business owners / your cybersecurity training. So
I think we covered it all.
Yeah, I hope
we covered it all. Now, if anyone wants a list of all these wonderful links, I'm trying to add them here. But if you want like a comprehensive list, then go ahead and text the word cyber to 31996 and I'll take care of you. All right. So if you want a list of all these links, go ahead and text the word cyber, CYBER, to 31996.
Mm-hmm. I hope, that was fun.
That was good.
That was that.
Like, I can do this. I don't know how y'all feel out there, but I feel like, okay, I'm going to get my cyber life together. I'm going to get my cyber life together.
I always say prevention's better than cure.
It's true. It's really, really true. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to transition. So for everyone, now we've covered all the wonderful tactical information.
Yes.
Take it, run with it, get the course, use the coupon code, get your life. Learn, protect yourself. Now we're going to transition over to the B side. You know how a cassette tape has the A side? That was the technical information. Now we're going to switch over to the B side. Okay?
Yes.
And we're going to talk about Jihana.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. And here I am trying to
I'll attempt to go live again for the people.
Razzle dazzle about what you do for a living, but then when the spotlight is like, tell me about yourself.
So I want you to explain this. Earlier this year, correct me if I'm wrong, you transitioned.
We're not even going to give it so much time. It's literally
You transitioned to being a full-time entrepreneur in July.
Yes.
Round of applause for that. Thank you. Round of applause for that. But my question is, how did you get there?
I surrounded myself with people that are entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. My environment, who I was surrounded by, the mindset they've instilled in me, the work ethic I watched them have, mm-hmm. was literally the deciding factor with me, one, believing that it's doable,
yeah.
Two, knowing that I can do it. And let me tell you something, okay?
Forgive me, I'm trying to work this out.
Talking to get to that point. So like I'm corporate mommy. Look, I was like, I get my little check. I don't even have to do nothing. I thought life, I was like, this is good. This is what everybody wants, right? It occurred to me that if this is what people are paying me to help build their business, what would happen if I took this skill set and invested in myself and shared it with the world and figured out how to package it and and I'm not going to lie. If I wasn't supported the way I was, I wouldn't. There's no way. But I knew that I had, like, even in the days and minutes hour of uncertainty, having them to reach back to, invaluable. I've been working since I was 12. From summer youth in Brooklyn till July, I've worked all of my life. I do something, someone pays me. To then go to, no, you're going to figure out how you're going to get paid.
Mm.
And that the reliability of that every 2 weeks, rain or shine, sun, you're taking away that security. And I'm a girl who loves some security.
Me too.
But I wouldn't trade it for the world, because surprisingly, I feel more free now and at ease now than I did when I worked for someone else. When that check came on the 1st to 15th, and maybe depending on how the month went, another one, I felt so much anxiety, and just like my time didn't feel like my own. I dreaded Monday. Like now I'm just like, okay, don't get me wrong. I absolutely work way more now, but I don't mind it because it's me pouring into my business and what and I love it.
But Annette has another. Annette, oh my goodness. I don't want to lose your account. What is it?
It's amazing when you realize.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's true. It's amazing when you realize people are willing to pay you for information in your head.
But you know, that's a mindset thing, because I had to have people constantly telling me that people would pay me for that in order to know people would pay me for that. Like I just said, I took for granted what I knew. I was like, okay, like everyone knows this, and
it's not common knowledge. It's not common knowledge.
They were all like, no, what's common to you? Kind of like the saying, common sense isn't common. So what you think is like a normal given, it's not. And so I think it also was a matter of the struggle really came from how to package that and getting out of my own way, because it is freedom over security. Like I wake up and I'm just like, all right, well, what are we gonna knock out today? and honestly, it was Sandy. So Hood Estate Sandy, for whoever doesn't know. The better half to Pocky.
Yes, the queen.
The
queen. Yes. Sorry, I get excited.
Yeah, I know.
Excited.
Really help me understand that it's not about knocking out everything on the to-do list, because there's always things added to the to-do list.
Facts.
It is just being happy with getting something done that day.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to have that if I was working for someone else. It's because at that point it was about knocking that entire to-do list out, or else they wouldn't see me adding value to their business. Now it is my business. And so I learned to have the small celebrations, like, ooh, got through all those emails. All right. And they make a difference. So I started creating what did I do today?
Yes.
This is, what do I need to do?
Your accomplished list. Yeah, I do that too. Yeah.
Man, and when I started doing that, I was like, those small wins were everything.
Yes.
Everything. I slept better. I was like, knocked out. When before, I would literally like lose sleep. I was, oh my gosh, like I'm sleeping, but my mind is running a million. Oh, like I would get up out of my sleep and like start texting and like, okay, add it to my to-do list. Now it's kind of like, no, it'll get done. Be patient with yourself. And I think as entrepreneurs, especially when you work for yourself and you are so used to the rat race of how it was when you were paid by someone else.
Yep.
That finding that balance is painful.
Yeah.
Painful.
However, I would argue that with pursuing entrepreneurship, and look, your girl has a JOB, a W2 transitioning. So I say this because I know people get in their feelings very easily. Feelings very easily. But I want to say this. In a sense, because it's like a lion. There we go. We'll go with the lion illustration.
Okay.
The lion is in captivity. What makes him docile is the fact that he is fed at a schedule, right?
Yes.
He knows at 9 a.m., here comes steak. He knows at 12 a.m. or p.m., there's steak. And he knows that dinner's at 6. So do you see him on the prowl hunting for his meat? Nah, he's not hungry. He's fed. He's fat. He's sleepy, right? And so when you transition, or those who are attempting to transition full-time, you have to be hungry, right? Because you don't know when that next meal is coming. It forces you to become all the more ingenious, all the more productive, and more active because you are forced to go after it. So in a way, your job, if you allow it, I call it paid mediocrity. If you allow it.
Yeah.
And I got a job and I'm not mediocre, but here's the fact. I'm going to say something, it might get me in trouble. I work with mediocre coworkers. And guess what? Our salaries are the same.
The same.
You hear me?
Yeah. But you also understand that entrepreneur mindset, to your point.
Oh, your audio's, say that one more time, babe. Your audio's.
Did it go somewhere? Can you hear me? I didn't touch a thing.
It's, oh, no, don't do this, internet.
Oh,
man. Hold on, let me see if I can take you out and add you in again. Hold on, lovely people. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Hello. Let's see. All right.
Did something happen? I didn't even touch anything.
I know. Damn. I don't want to have to restart this, but I might.
No. Don't restart it. This is a good.
I'm seeing. Okay, people at home, are you seeing a delay, or is it just me? Dang it! I don't see any comments. Is it just me, y'all? Okay, now you're better.
I didn't touch anything. I don't know.
Did I? Okay. Carry on. Sorry, y'all.
So it goes back to who you're surrounded by, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that mindset shift that you have to do is people teaching. I am being taught, actively being taught, to be a hunter. I was a gatherer.
We're trained to be gatherers.
The berries and the things that didn't require. Now I am learning to be a hunter. Mm-hmm. And what I'm learning is that's the big learning curve for me, because I'm the group that I'm surrounded by. Everybody talks about how much of a hustler they are. Man, these people can get you to buy some stuff. And I'm like, well, dang, do I need that? That isn't how I am at the moment. So part of my entrepreneurship journey is reinvention. Because while some of my methods can work for me and they're hard for me to shake, a lot of them can't go with me into this next phase.
Exactly. And
so that's where your accountability partners come in. So I'm sharing with you guys because, I feel like we're people now, right? So early, was it last week? Yeah. Pocky's my accountability. Pocky and Sandy, the whole group is my accountability. Mm-hmm. But specifically, I said to Pocky's like, hey, like, what have you been doing to promote your business, to promote this? And as a person who's used to having the fish brought to them, I'm like, well, I mean, it didn't happen this week, but it's fine. He's like, no, you will do it. And I'm like, well, I just can't. I don't know. And then he's just like, I'm not playing with you. I need, right? Because it is uncomfortable. Tell me a person who's comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I'll tell you a person who's full of it. Okay? It's not true. So what he said to me was, I said, you know what? I'm going to post. I'm going to do more. If I don't do it, my motivator is embarrassment. If you embarrass me, if the thought of being embarrassed, like it's even making me stutter now. The thought of being embarrassed embarrasses me. So I was like, well, if I don't do it, you have to like call me out on social media. So I don't know why I thought he was gonna forget. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought he was gonna forget. I'm like, oh, it's already, he forgot. Like, all right, I live another day, right? Man, this man went on social media and was like, this is for Jihana. You are supposed to do something. It is 7 p.m. If you don't do it, I'm about to tell everybody. Girl, I never edited a video so fast in my life. I was like, oh my God. When I tell you, but like the good stress, right? Like,
exactly.
Because once I did it, I was like, oh, I can do it.
Yes.
So now I already created the other one. I'm literally gonna drop it after this. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, he never forgets. Like, he never forgets. But I need that, right? Because I also understand that if I don't have that obligation sometimes to another person, I can let myself down all day.
Yeah, totally.
Which is bad. That's a whole other like self-care conversation, right? But when it comes to someone else, I'm like, oh no, because it's a respect circle too, right? Like your accountability partners, your group of entrepreneurs, they feed into you in a way that maybe the people you had around you before, and it's not to say that they don't want to support you, but they don't get it.
Yes.
You have no idea what it's like.
So true.
I just told my friend, I said, it's so funny. You get to be on Instagram for fun. I'm on Instagram for work. Like, it's a completely different thing for me now. And she was just like, oh, I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh no, it's a thing. So now I need to be surrounded by the people who get it.
Yes.
Who get content creation, who get this, who get that, and are willing to push me and are willing to listen when I need to vent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I can't have entrepreneur conversations. This is no shade.
No.
I can't have entrepreneur conversations with non-entrepreneurs sometimes. Because you don't understand the boat I'm in right now. I didn't understand this boat. I thought I did until I was in it. And now I'm like, oh my God. This is just always just like I'm constantly having to do something.
But here's my follow-up question to that, which is, with every new phase in life, with every new venture we take on, it requires us to become a new person, to develop new skills. So at this phase in your business and your life, what are you learning you have to become in order to flourish personally and professionally?
I need to learn to become fearless.
Oh, I love that word. Ooh, I love that word.
Innately, I operate from a place of fear. Fear comes from a lack of, whether it's security, understanding, belief. And if I don't believe it, it's kind of like I see everybody saying, manifest this, manifest that, right? All right. What they're really just saying is believe that it will come to you, believe in yourself, and you will only attract what you believe.
Facts.
So until I start to let that fear go,
yes,
I won't reap the rewards that I want to.
Exactly. Ooh, say it.
And this is I'm telling you, I'm being candid with you guys.
Yes.
I really wouldn't, like, I normally wouldn't say this out loud. But I need to get out of my own way. I chase perfection, and perfection allows me to procrastinate.
Yep.
Procrastination is my problem.
Yep.
So instead of dressing it up all nice and saying, I want it to be perfect, because perfect is another word for procrastinating.
Yep.
If I just put it out there, people are going to like it regardless, or they're not going to like it. But either which way, it's out there. I would have either learned something, I would have learned what to do, I would have learned what not to do.
Yep.
But at least I did something.
Yes.
And I think for me too, it's a cultural thing because my family's from the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
We're from Brooklyn. I don't know any entrepreneurs that were in my family. I was taught that you work. My mom, be a nurse, be something that's gonna pay you.
Yes, a solid, secure job. Yes.
Solid, secure job. So when I said to her, like, yeah, I'm gonna work for myself. I quit my job. She was like, are you dumb? And so, well, thanks for that belief in me, mother. So, but it's the truth, and I have to understand that that's her fear talking.
Yeah, because
subconsciously we carry a lot.
Of course,
it trickles down the whole family line. If no one has done it before, it's hard to imagine it. For example,
I
joined the military. That was a whole fiasco. So nobody in my family had joined the military. Mm-hmm. And I knew every time I brought it up, it was like, no, you're not going to do that. Nobody sent you to go fight any war. Oh gosh, it was ridiculous, right? Jamaicans, whatever. So then I was like, well, this is what I want to do. I have to commit. And so what I did was I left for basic training on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I didn't tell my mother till Thursday night.
Where did she think you were?
No. I told her that I was like, I remember this clear as day. We're watching Jeopardy. And I'm like, so Mom, I'm gonna go to Texas for a little bit. She's like, okay. What's in Texas? I was like, the Air Force. And then I walked out of the room. When I tell you, I heard her voice like penetrate my skull. Okay. Like, what are you doing? Fast forward 7 years later, when I was trying to get out, when I was gonna get out.
Yeah.
Oh, you should stay in. Look at all the things that you were able to do. This, that, third. So what I learned in that moment is, if I believe in me, if I show people it's possible, woo, I have to be that trailblazer.
Oh, good. Writing that word down. You know, I love words.
No, I have to. Because if I didn't take that initiative, and also, let's be clear, I learned something about me making that move.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what I was capable of until I proved it to myself, and in turn proved it to other people. So with this entrepreneurship journey, I'm applying the same concept. I'm like, I am as fearful as ever because it's something new for me.
Yeah.
But I need to blaze that trail. I need to show them that I can do it. Along the way, because you know how that imposter syndrome is set up. Along the way, I will too begin to believe it. And then I can step into it so much more. The beauty of this is that I am supported.
Yes.
So even in my online community, like there's the people, you know, that I can reach out and touch, but online. So in the military, they have this thing called an I Love Me folder. And every time you do something good, you add it in there. If you get recognized for something, you add it into the I Love Me folder. Mm-hmm. So what that was supposed to do was, by the time you had to do your annual, your report for the year of like your progress report, you knew everything you did. So what I've done now on social media is every time somebody sends me something of encouragement, tells me what I've taught them, tell me what I've shown them, show me that they're using my stuff, I screenshot it and I add it to my I Love Me folder. So the days when I'm feeling like, what am I doing? This is a waste of my time. I need to just go get a job. I look at that folder.
Oh, I love that.
And I know that, no, you're moving in purpose. It's not without challenges. Just, you know, find somewhere to put that fear. And use it when it's necessary, but it's not necessary now. So just keep pushing. And that's how I navigate that.
That's a powerful point that you just shared. First of all, I love that I Love Me folder. I'm going to make one after we wrap up. I'm going to make one effective immediately.
Yeah.
However, it's so powerful that you share that, because a lot of times, in regards to your mom, right? Because a lot of times when we take on a new venture, the first thing we do is seek validation.
Mm-hmm.
We're constantly seeking that validation.
100%.
We want someone to give us that seal of approval before we take off running.
Yep.
However, that's not how it works for people, especially our family.
Yeah.
They need to see receipts before they validate anything.
100%. And they need more than receipts.
Girl.
Receipts, referrals,
Girl.
recommendations. I mean, if you think it's gonna work.
Girl. So therefore, you have to bet on you.
Yeah.
You have to. I so appreciate you sharing that, because it's so necessary. You have to bet on yourself. Mm-hmm. You have to lean into that.
Yeah. It's a real thing. I'm not look, daily. Like today wasn't even a good day for me. In all honesty and transparency. Like today I was just dragging, and I'm just like I was just like, I don't want to do anything. And of course I end up working anyway. And as the day went on, it just got better and better. And honestly, this is probably like the highlight for me, because sometimes just seeing it and saying it out loud and just acknowledging.
Yeah.
I firmly believe in acknowledging all the emotions, right? Acknowledge the fear, acknowledge the sadness, acknowledge the disappointment, acknowledge all of those just as you would when you're happy. Because anytime you suppress them, they just show up somewhere else later on in the most inopportune times.
Yep. And
who needs to deal with that? So if today wasn't the best day this morning, then today wasn't the best day. And that's just it. And I own that, you know? It will get better. It's going to get better. If I really couldn't turn it around on my own, I have resources. And that's what matters. And I think you, especially if you follow a lot of those entrepreneurship pages, listen, everyone
speak on it, please.
Okay. Gatherer. So you're showing me a bunch of lions talking about get to the front of the pack. Listen. How about we just gonna truck along till we get to that point. And I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. And learning that it's not a race.
Yes.
Because I will tell you too, like in the cybersecurity space, because that is what I do, I know a bunch of people in it. Mm-hmm. And I'm always like, oh my gosh, am I doing enough? Am I saying enough? What if they say it first? Or what if I do, you know? And then I had to realize my audience is my audience. What attracts them to me is unique to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't owe anybody else anything. And anytime those moments of insecurity peek their head, because okay, fine, let's do the synonym for fear and we'll call it insecurity.
Yep. When
I get insecure about what value I can add, or if I'm doing enough, or if people are going to be into it, I then remember like that's them, and what's unique to her is unique to her, and what's unique to me is unique to me. Mm-hmm. I check that I Love Me folder, and I'm just like, man, I got it.
Exactly. Tell me the last time you were proud of yourself. I need you to brag on yourself.
Oh.
Last time you're proud of yourself.
Oh my gosh, what a random question.
I love random questions.
That is so good question though, because I actually have to think about this. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, I really like to problem solve in the most non-confrontational way possible. So how I do that is because I like to just understand people. Mm-hmm. And if I understand you, then what you're doing in that moment doesn't affect me, so I can help you.
Got it.
So yesterday, it was my best friend's baby shower. And like with planning all events, what can go wrong will, and it will go wrong at the very last minute. And everyone has an opinion. And so while I am driving back and forth and going all over to these places and feel the overwhelm taking place, I'm still solving the issue. So if I need to tell this person this to get there, and we so everybody's here, okay. You know, and then I deal with my anxiety, because you also take in a lot, right? So when you're putting out all these little fires, you're becoming this inferno of your own, that if you don't acknowledge that, you'll blow up, right? So then I was like, okay, she's smiling, mother is smiling, grandmother is smiling, baby daddy's smiling, everybody's great. Food is there, everything's on time. Okay, I'm pissed. I'm livid, okay, to be exact. And so I go and I find my corner, and I decompress, so that when I show up in that space, I'm authentically me. And I had to vent, and I had to do whatever it was, but I was so proud of myself for being able to do that, because I didn't harbor any of it. It was like, okay, you've done this. It's important for you to see this satisfaction because you did put effort into it. It might not be in the manner that you wanted. Acknowledge how you feel, but you did a good job. So let's move on. And I think doing that and getting to that point where because I didn't always do that, I was really proud of myself. Really proud. Even articulating myself through anger. I was just like, so yeah, it was good. It was good. I'm proud of that.
You know what I really appreciate about you? I always appreciate people who are very self-aware. I take you as being very, very self-aware.
I
How has it lended to you in how you work? Knowing yourself so very well, and to learn yourself, and amidst learning yourself and this new role.
Yeah. Knowing who I am. It's literally it. Like, knowing I'm the gatherer, knowing I have to become the hunter, knowing what I need to have in order to motivate me, knowing when to leverage the support around me, being that self-aware has helped me, because, and also being okay with being called out.
Elaborate, please.
Because to be around the group of supporters I have.
That's love, though. That's love.
There's love and correction. If they would not love me, they would not correct me. Exactly. They would not offer alternative perspective. They would not push me past my comfort zone. But also being able to take that. And having them respect it when I'm not ready to receive that. Say what you had to say.
Yeah.
I'm in my feelings. We'll revisit. The beauty of me, I'm so like, oh, I'm a Libra, but I don't stay upset very long. So, because it just takes too much out of me, and I prefer to be happy. Like, some people just prefer to be miserable. I'm not one of those people. So, that's it. Like, having them hold that mirror up and be like, okay, you're playing yourself right now.
Yeah.
And them giving me room to realize it. And when I slowly reapproach with maybe I was playing myself a little bit, I'm sorry about that. It's not the told you so, you know what I mean? Like, it's all, like, legit, it's all love. So I think that's the important piece too, because this is not easy. Like, that whole evolution, I'm learning to become a new person. Yeah. Taking what I know or what I think is the best parts of me from who I once was, and seeing how I build on that, what needs to be changed, because understanding people is a good thing. when you are catering to a business, but knowing where you stand and what you offer and being firm in that is vital to my business. Yes. I can't go with the wave of whatever and this person's doing this, so that I should do that. No, what engages my audience? What can I do? How do they like to see content? Even doing partnerships with people. So I thought this summer takeover I'm doing with Spartacus. The first thing we did our interview, and this was like during the whole Black Lives Matter, everybody. I said, so am I your token? You have more people of color, women, and I don't think they expected me to ask that. I said, but it's important to me. Yeah. Because if I'm going to say this is a business that I am partnering with, if this is somebody that I am, products that I'm endorsing, I need to be on board with it because not all money is good money. Amen. So that was important too. And knowing that what's for me is not going to pass me. Exactly. So if I'm supposed to do it, it was going to happen, whether it was now or later, and being okay with that. So I think that self-awareness piece, that helps me a lot. Good and bad, but it helps.
That's a whole word right there. It is. It totally is. So I'm going to ask you these two last questions. Okay. For you, I love for people to understand, I know you do, the power of words. I love words.
Me too. I love words.
I love words. So with that, I want you to share with me, with all the words that you love, what do you love most about yourself? And what do you love most about serving your community, your cyber tribe?
I love my resilience. And what do I love most about
serving your community, your cyber tribe, helping people?
But that's it. It's the helping people part. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, every time, like people might think I'm joking, but every time they say to me, you said this, and so I knew not to do this, or I did this, or didn't do this, I'm just like, yes. It's the biggest satisfaction because I know how people are taken advantage of. That's one. And I don't like, call it the part of me that loves justice and just things to be fair. I don't like for people to just be taken advantage of, especially when they didn't know. You knew and you acted choices, right? But you don't know. Like when people scam the elderly.
Yes. Oh, word. Yes.
Oh my gosh. I don't like that. And I'm not saying that anybody should be scammed. But can you imagine these people's 401ks are wiped out? They've worked their whole lives to enjoy this last little bit to find out that all their money's gone because they thought they clicked on a email from their grandkid and it's not. Yep. It's things like that. So it's really the helping people part, like more than anything. When I know that they're getting it, when I see the proof, the receipts that they've gotten it, to the point where I'm like I said, I'm in a baby shower yesterday. My friend's boyfriend is like, look, remember you were talking about Cash App. And I didn't click it. And I'm just like, yes. This is a completely random time, but okay. I love it. Yeah. So that's it.
I love it. Yeah. Last question. Was it worth it? The fear, the anxiety, the fear of the unknown, and all the feelings you had before you took the leap in July. Now we stand, but 60 days later, might as well.
Yeah.
60 days later. Was it worth it?
July 15th.
Was it worth it?
Yes.
What would you tell yourself 60 days ago? Now that we're 60
So,
days.
so my yes it's a slow yes.
And that's okay. Tell me why.
It's a slow yes because I know I'm at the beginning.
Exactly.
My potential, I can't even fathom.
You're limitless. You are limitless.
Right. And I think part of that too is still unlocking that in my brain. It's like I'm trying to pry open this box so I can get a little peek. I still don't even know how far it can take me.
Yeah.
And what I'm fortunate enough to have is the outside perspective. You know how you can't see the forest for the trees when you're in it? So I think it's everyone else sometimes speaking that success over me, that power over me, that
bringing life to you. Yeah. Because
60 days ago, I'd have been like, girl, what you talking about? On your nerves, but what are you willing to give up right now for this year? Now, listen, I'm about to create a whole pop-up shop and just like, I feel like getting rid of everything and just start anew, because if it means investing in my business, I want to do it.
Yeah. And
I would have never thought that way. I did not think that way before. I will also say the main reason why I was comfortable with even taking this leap into entrepreneurship, because I invested.
You had a plan.
I had a plan. I think it's easier. Yes.
Wiser.
It's wiser.
Wiser.
Honestly, I am able to sleep at night because my source of income is not just coming from one place.
Yes.
And I think people take for granted what investing can do for you. That's why I said it's not that investing is a fad, it's what you choose to get into. Yeah. Because I've tried trucking, the one way. That probably doesn't suit me. To know it, to understand it, sure. But I'm trying trucking another way, and I like that. This is a thing I can do, and it's investing. And unless the transportation industry shuts down tomorrow, I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then I heard real estate. Okay, well, I have 2 properties, and they're able to do this. And okay, so then that's one thing. And then, you know what I mean? So all of these different avenues, I think, help this not be such a jarring experience. Because without my investments, without my support group, without my I love you folder, without honoring my emotions, I don't think I could be where I am right now. Because we briefly talked about this. I am learning how to not focus on the one face not smiling back at me in a crowd, in a sea of faces smiling at me.
Yes.
And
that shift. Yeah, carry on, please.
Yeah, and that's what entrepreneurship is. Go where you are loved, go where you are celebrated, go where you are supported, versus trying to convert the 1 or 2. And I'm not gonna call them haters because maybe you're misguided, right? But the 1 or 2 that don't see where you can be and what you can do, because you're operating from a place of fear and you're projecting that onto me or envy, and I don't want that. So I am fortunate enough to have that, and I am thankful for it daily. Because listen, not all days are great days, but when they're great, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And remembering that too. Celebrate my small wins. That's all. Nothing too crazy.
I love that.
Aww.
I do. I love that, because in many ways, via social media, entrepreneurship and being a business owner can be glamorized. You know, how many posts do you have? I'm a boss, be a boss. That's cute. That's a nice post. However,
worship that you messed up in here.
Exactly. I'll quit my job. Oh, okay. But once again,
I'm on vacation all month long. No.
No. There is wisdom in a multitude of counselors, right? That's a proverb. You share that because you got shout out to Hood Estates family. That's right there. Hood Estates family for life. But it's beautiful that you have created, and almost out there to say have drawn a tribe to you.
Yeah.
A support system. Because, and not just the right support system. Yeah. That's key. The right support system that allows you to understand that this takes balance, this takes time, this also takes work, but it takes a whole lot of patience. But it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
And here we are. And here you are, I should say. How fast is saving lives?
I know. Patience is one of my virtues, so I'm okay with that. Like, I'm sitting here like, okay, slow, but yeah, no, I am blessed. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, it's to the point where even synchronicities and numbers make me feel comforted. Like, if I see 11:11, I'm like, all right, God. Like, honestly, Sandy and I would go back and forth, and I'm like, "Ooh, I saw 444." Like, it's just whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes to make you feel like you are being protected, supported, and run with it. Because, especially in a day and age of social media, it's easy to be filled with negativity. It's easy to look on someone else's life and want that, not knowing anything about it. Everyone on social media seems to be an entrepreneur, and I'm confused at like how half of these people get their money. I know. You know? And so I don't know. I just horse blinders.
Exactly.
I want to see my lane in front of me, and that's all I want to see for right now. Mm-hmm. There's no need to share it with anybody. No. It's just
you know what I hear from you, which I love, is the fact that you honor the process.
Oh.
You really do. You honor the process. You enjoy the journey.
Yeah. If it happened too fast, I don't think I could handle it, in all honesty. And what is too fast, right? Like 6 months from now is not too fast in my head. Mm-hmm. But if it was like I quit my job and then all of a sudden, bam, like 30,000 followers and they're expected. No, because in each of these challenges that are presented to me in this phase, I'm learning something about me. Mm-hmm. Like, that is why my word was resilience, because the message on repeat has been, how well do you bounce back? How well do you figure this out? Because that's the battle, right? Like, it's nothing else but knowing and trusting that you're gonna be okay. Like, you can't, and I think people don't know how to appreciate that as much, because everyone, listen, one little hiccup. Think about relationships nowadays. I was talking to my friend about this. I was like, listen, nobody's doing what their grandparents did with these 30 years. With if you hit the 5-year mark, you're like, dang, we've been together a long time. It's because we don't really understand resilience, and we quit so easily. And I just don't want to quit so easily. Mm-hmm. I believe in it. I believe in the process. I believe that I am where I'm supposed to be. And so I just, I'm allowing myself to experience it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So when I get there, nobody can be like, you're an overnight sensation. No. I wish I was. Like, I want longevity. So, yeah. I cannot thank you enough. Oh, thank you. This is so good. Awesome. Is this normal for how long your lives go? Well, no. Like, what I think this is the longest live, almost 2 hours. The other live I had was like an hour and a half. Okay, well, hopefully everybody got this. I love it though. Me too. I do. And you know what?
actually, since we've learned, everyone watching tonight, that Jihana hates embarrassment, what we're going to do is that we are going to make sure that she books a date with us this time next year so we can do another show.
Yeah.
A year in review.
Oh, the growth. Oh, I am down for that.
Because a lot can happen in 12 months, Mama. A lot can
happen in beautiful ways. I was working for the man. Now I'm working for myself. So
it's very, very true. So I cannot wait to reconvene with you 12 months from now.
Yes.
I might tap your shoulder 6 months from now. I don't know. Like, because so much.
40 seconds. It's fine.
So thank you for everyone hanging out with us tonight. We deeply appreciate it. Once again, I just want to put up her contact info for anyone. Where is it? Right here. Shablam, Shablooey. For the beautiful people watching on Instagram, make sure you screenshot this email. Go ahead and follow her on Instagram. What is your Instagram handle, beautiful?
At I am Jihana. Jihana.
Exactly. And pretty soon, dun, 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 more embarrassment, she's going to have her own YouTube channel. I said it. I put it out there.
I received that. For that. Part of the process. So
I know.
Listen, I'm just trying to figure out Instagram.
I know.
Thank you guys. I'm so glad. Yes, set the reminder. Listen, hold me accountable. I am. This is what I like.
Yeah.
I told you, the embarrassment motivates. what Gia really doesn't realize she did is now I have to have something worth talking about when I come back.
No, so funny. I hear that all the time when I've approached so many people, I have nothing to talk about. But so many people underestimate how powerful their story is.
That's true.
Everyone has a story.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to share it, you will move people.
I'm so glad they like you guys.
I don't know why you're shocked. Like, what? You're
having a conversation and I didn't even. No, this is good.
So go ahead, contact her, follow her, tag her. Don't forget. What was it? Let me get it now. There you go. Text the word cyber to 31996 if you want all the lovely links that she shared tonight. And other goodies to come. And with that, guys, thank you so very much to the people on Instagram who held on strong tonight.
We did. This is a long one.
This is a long one. Yes, people are like, it's sideways. Yeah, guys, go on YouTube. Anyways, don't worry about it. Thank you all so very much. Te amo. Besos. Serious. Y abrazos.
That meant.
Huh?
I knew what that meant.
Kisses or small besitos. Besos. Ciao.
All right.